before all of that, because I'm going to spend the rest of the day with you guys, I thought it would be important for you guys to get to know me a bit. So my name is Faisal Choudhry. That's my name. And when I was trying to figure out, because when people do presentations, they have like a really cool like subtitle underneath their name, innit? Like Faisal Choudhry, motivational speaker, or like Faisal Choudhry, poet. But I'm not any of those. So I was trying to think, when I'm doing this, when I'm making this presentation, what can I write that like encapsulates who I am? So I started thinking, who am I? And I thought, well, first of all, I'm a young British Muslim. That's what I would like to, first of all, see myself as, a young British Muslim. And then perhaps I'm an entrepreneur, I run my own business, have a clothing line which Mahdi is holding outside. So I suppose I'm a young British Muslim entrepreneur. I like to invest my ideas and my skills into opportunities. So I'd say I'm somewhat of an investor. So I'm a young British Muslim entrepreneur, I'm an investor. And I'm like a part-time, growing, but like steadily growing YouTuber. So when I was trying to figure out what it is I can title myself, I just decided, you know what? I'm probably just going to give up and go with young British Muslim entrepreneur, investor, and part-time, growing but steadily growing YouTuber. But also recently I did start a podcast, so I'm also a podcaster now, and so that's who I am in a nutshell. And then if we just move on, I'll kind of give you a bit more about myself. I was born on the 12th of February 1994. I was a very chubby baby. I can't particularly tell if that's me or my brother Omar. I'm going to say it's me. 12th February 1994, that makes me 23 years, 3 months, 24 days, 6 hours, and what's the time? Sorry? 23 years, 3 months, I was born around 8 a.m, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. 23 years, 3 months, 26 days, 7 hours, and 13 minutes ago. Now, that normally works better when I have a watch. That works better when I don't clap. I did that and I don't have a watch. I'm going to need to borrow someone's watch. We're going to... Woo! That is a nice watch. Here's a big picture of me. I'm a chubby baby. I was a chubby baby. I can't really tell if that's a picture of me or my old brother Omar. I'm going to say it's me. 12th February 1994. That makes me 23 years, 3 months, 26 days, 6 hours and 13 minutes ago. Now, that's when I was born. It's not easy, I'm not a mathematician. That's when I was born. This is a picture of me when I was young. I was a bit of a mischievous child. I was like the child in the family who was like a bit naughty. I used to always get kicked out, locked out, beaten, the lot really. One time I was on crutches when I was little, and my mum wanted to hoover the floor in the living room, and I wasn't letting her, I was on a PlayStation, I wasn't letting her hoover where I was sitting, and I started getting a bit rude. And so, as any Asian mum would do, she grabbed my crutch off me, hit me with it, and made me go outside to the garden and lock me out without my crutches. So I actually hopped on one leg in the garden. I learnt my lesson, don't be rude to your mum, but I was mischievous. I loved action, man. If you go to the next slide, I was actually into a lot of hobbies as well. Does anybody know, is anybody else here called Faisal? Faisal. Yeah. Do you know what our name means? Not really, no. Indecisive? Nah, man. Anyone else know what Faisal means? Decisive. Faisal means decisive. Faisal means decisive. Anyone who knows me knows I'm actually the least decisive person you'll ever meet. I'm not decisive at all, and that's why I got myself into all of these sports, and I took them all seriously. So I got myself into football, hockey, rugby, rounders, athletics, table tennis, basketball, cricket, boxing, and I know what you guys are thinking, netball. But I did have a stint in netball in primary school, and I was quite good. I'll be honest. I won gold for the boys netball team. There's a proof. Little old me winning gold. As I got older, I started a business with my older brother. We started a media agency together. It was fairly successful. We had quite a few accomplishments I was very proud of. We actually, if we just go to the next slide, we were introduced. We were invited to the Prime Minister's house on 2 or 3 occasions with a charity called Spirit of London, who celebrate young people in London And then this is a picture of when it was a really kind of prominent time in our life actually. My older brother Omar, this was us in a Porsche showroom, and at 20 years old, he bought his first Porsche out of the showroom as a result of our business, and we thought we had everything, and we thought we was happy. Truth be told, while he had a brand new Porsche, he didn't have money to put petrol in the Porsche. Unfortunately, that's not even a joke. I should just start telling true stories and you guys will actually laugh. And this was a good time for us. If we go to the next slide, this is us enjoying ourselves in his Porsche, thinking that we had everything, we loved it, we were two young guys, we had a business, we had offices, we didn't necessarily... Zayden. Sam. We thought we had it all. Unfortunately, this was me. I then went to university. Omar carried on with the business, and these are the halal pictures from university. It's actually just me with like my hands around loads of guys. It's a bit weird. Let's move on. I also started a clothing line from the garage of my university house. I kind of took over the garage. I'll do my photo shoots in there. I started a clothing line. And it started going quite well. If you move on, just the next couple of pictures, it's just pictures. That's the clothing. That's the photo shoots I would do in the same garage again. And then I believe that every story, bringing it down. I believe that every story has to have a turning point. And so my turning point came towards the end of my second year of university, when I thought I had it all and I was living life. Really and truly I didn't, but I thought I was loving life. And then unfortunately some events took place where my grandfather passed away. He was my best friend. Me and my grandfather spent a lot of time together. This is just a picture of me looking really sad with acne, to be honest, but I didn't have a picture for it. But my mum had got cancer, and then so things started going quite bad. And I thought to myself, what I actually did when things were going bad is I started turning to anything and everything that could possibly make me happy. Anything I see in the news, anything I see in media, and nothing really did make me happy. And so I decided, why don't I try and do the one thing that I suppose I haven't tried, and that's turning back to my Lord. I do believe in Allah. I do believe in Islam. I've never really given it a chance. And so I decided, why don't I start by, praying on time. And then I started going to the masjid. This is a picture of me when I was in Etikaf in Cardiff. And the BBC came to do a documentary on how real Muslims are. And then my heart finally felt like it was at home. And that's why we've got the picture of the heart in the home. It's quite... Heart in the home. It's quite cool. My clothing line Reverb at the time. My clothing line, the way to push any business really is through media, through mainstream media. My clothing line was being pushed through music a lot of the time, and so I had now developed a skill in business, but I didn't want to go any further with this business because it was so much involved around the music industry, while I wasn't a musician myself. And so I decided to leave Reverb, but still use my skill to start up a new clothing line, something that's a little bit more halal. It's never really been pushed as a Muslim clothing line. However, the fact that it's got Arabic in it and stuff like that just allows me to kind of make excuses as to why I don't have certain things such as sisters as my models or other kind of stuff, why it's not in music videos, etc. So this is Zaha. We started Zaha with one hat. This is my one hat. And then eventually I got another hat. There's the other one, and then £80 is after 2 years of running in Zaha. £80 is the turnover that I had made in May 2015. Not the profit, the turnover, which means that we probably sold maybe 2 hats, maybe 2 or 3 hats in the whole month, and our costs were higher than our expenditures. So we was actually in minus. That was my turnover. So my profit was minus maybe 200-300, but I stuck to it, and alhamdulillah now we have an entire store online, and that's, I suppose, that's my day job now. If you just move to the next slide. I then decided that I want to kind of promote my clothing line more, I want to get it out there, so why don't I start a YouTube channel, start promoting it from my YouTube. So I actually started a YouTube channel just to be able to promote my clothing line, but then I kind of got carried away, and now now I just maybe about anything. We just move on. And then most recently I started a podcast with my big brother Sam, who I met in Gambia when we were actually we were actually out there for this exact charity that we're going to talk about now. Oh, in the midst of all of that, by the way, I got married, alhamdulillah, to my beautiful wife. And this is, if you go backwards, this is probably the scariest moment in any guy's life. If you guys have been married before, you'll know how scary this moment is. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and explain it to you all, yeah? So there's me signing my marriage contract. Next to me is the imam who did my marriage, married me off. Next to the imam is my wife's dad, my father-in-law, watching over me, making sure I'm signing properly. And next to my wife's dad is my dad. And so I had three of the most important people kind of in my life, the three of the most important men watching over me, and I was shaking like this when I was trying to sign. But alhamdulillah, I got married, and then in the midst of all that I also got introduced to Spot.